You ready, Ikhwan? Bismillah walhamdulillah. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, and upon his family, his companions, and upon all those who follow, upon his guidance to the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ikhwa, اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن نفس لا تشبع ومن دعاء لا يسمع. Verily, Allah, we seek refuge with you from knowledge that has no benefit, and from a heart that has no fear, and from a soul that has no satisfaction, and from a dua that goes unanswered, and from a dua that goes unanswered. To proceed, ikhwan, ونواصل معكم في هذه الليلة المباركة الكريمة عونا من الرحمن الرحيم. So we continue in this blessed and noble night of ours, seeking the aid and the assistance of our Lord, the most merciful, the most compassionate. مستفيدين متعلمين من اللغة العربية اللغة العربية. So we continue to learn and educate ourselves in deriving benefit from the science of the Arabic language. طيب فنراجع قليلا ثم نبدأ في درس جديد. So let's review slightly, a small review, and then we'll continue as we normally do. We'll begin inshallah ta'ala. تعلمنا قاعدة نحوية تتعلق بالأسماء. فما هي? So we learned a principle, a grammatical principle connected to nouns. We only did one connected to nouns. Who remembers? A principle connected to nouns. Adallah. Idafa. What was the principle that we learned? Not the structure, the principle. We learned a few principles so far. One we asked you to memorize. Harful jar, close. لا بأس تفضل. The origin of nouns, that they are مرفوع, that they are nominative. الأصل في الأسماء الرفع. The origin regarding nouns is that they are nominative. طيب. أنا أقولها بالعربية وأنتم تقولونها بالإنجليزية. I'll say in Arabic, you say in English. I'll say in Arabic, you say in English. شارع. شارع. A road, street, path. باب. Door. بيت. عبد الوالي. ما شاء الله. فنجان. الفنجان. The cup. قديم. جديد. طويل. جميل. Good. حسن. Handsome. Good. Person's name. يوسف. قصير. 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 هذا الأخ هو قصير. This brother right there, he's قصير. He is short. Our sister, ضيق. ضيق. A big. Narrow, tight, restricted. واسع. MashaAllah. مكسور. Back around. مكسور. Oh, Sheikh traveled this week. No, but we'll get there. That's because he missed class last time. طيب. رجل. Good. Allah Akbar. We skip مكسور. مكسور is broken. ولد. Good. Next chapter. Bintun. MashaAllah. Ahsant. Ummun. A mother or mother. Ummun. Zay. Foundation. Source. Origin. Abdul Malik. Khadimun. Khadimun. Not qadimun. Khadimun. Hey, servant. طيب. Khalifatun. Leader. Muslim leader. Ahsant. Arusun. Bride or groom. Misru. Egypt. Yusuf. Dimashq. MashaAllah. America. Our sister. America. Good. Ainun. طيب لا بأس. Ainun. I. Also. Spring. Also. Spy. Also. I. One more. Ain. A letter. Ain. A letter. Darun. 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 House. Can also be a home, homeland, homestead, where you're from. طيب. حال. ها؟ حال. كيف حالكم? How is your condition, situation? Now that's a couple chapters ago. Hey. Oh. Remember the importance of review, ya ikhwan. When you learn something new, you always got to go back. Right? نصف طلب العلم المراجعة والله أعلم. Half of seeking knowledge is review. أحيانا تراجعون أكثر مما تحفظون. Sometimes you're going to review more than you learned that day. You went over 50 hadith, alhamdulillah. How many new ones you learned today? One. Maybe. You went over Juz of Quran. How much new Quran did you learn? Maybe half a page. You went over 100 vocabulary words. How many new ones you learned today? 5. Sometimes you're going to review more than you learn. طيب فنحتاج إلى المراجعة. So we are in need, يا إخوان. Remember, we are in dire need of review. علينا نأخذ شيئا ما من الأوقات للمراجعة. We always have to take some time to go back over. The more words you learn, it's easy now. Y'all think this is hard. This is easy, يا إخوان. How many words we have? Who counted the words up so far? We get to 50 yet? Almost? We passed 50. That's easy. And 10, every day, go over 10 words. That's it. Today, 10. Tomorrow, 10. In 5 days, you're done. Wait till you get to 100. Oh, 200, 300. When you have a whole notebook to review, it's more difficult. When you have a few knowledge to review, it's easy. You just got to chop it down. If you can't go over 10 words today, no problem. 5 words today. 5 words tomorrow. 5 words the next day. Now in 10 days, you're done. Alhamdulillah. It's not about the time. It's about al-muwasalah, the consistency, being constant. Right? Dawra man. Whose turn? Hadirun. Sheikh Abdul Wali. Oh, how do you say I don't know? In Arabic? Sheikh said, I don't know, ya akhi. How do you say in Arabic? Elijah. How do you say I don't know? لا أدري. لا أدري. طيب. حاضر. Present. Available. Zayd. We finished that chapter. طيب. أرض. أرض. Earth. The ground. Soil. حجر. حجر. Rocks. بقر. A cow. جميلا. شجر. Tree. بعيد. هذا بعيد مني. That thing is something from me. It's something far. بستان. Garden. جميلة. ملك. Our sisters. King. Malikatun. MashaAllah. Sisters, 3 for 3. Allahu Akbar. Naam. Allahu Akbar. La. Jaddun. Jaddatun. MashaAllah. Tabibun. MashaAllah. Tabibatun. New word. Tabibatun. Female doctor. We didn't have that one. It's a new word. Add a tam marbuta, becomes feminine. طيب. Mayyitun. Mayyitun. Hey, did. Passed away, deceased. طيب. Shadidun. Shadidun. Strong, violent, fierce, stern. نظيف. هذا المسجد دائما الحمد لله نظيف. This masjid so far has always been clean. Allahu Akbar. May Allah reward those who clean the masjid. نار. Fire. جميلا. يوسف. مرفوع. Oh. تقربت. Close. Our sister. مرفوع. MashaAllah. The word that's in the rafi' case that ends in a dhamma or what takes the place of dhamma. Our second sister. Mansubun. The word that ends in fatha or what takes the place of fatha. Back to the front. Last group of words. Munsarif. Oh. Munsarif. It's all last week's class. Munsarif. Bismillah. Check that out. Munsarif. The word that you can break down that accepts all three cases. Dhamma, fatha, kasra. غير منصرف. Word doesn't take kasra tanween. You cannot break it. It doesn't accept dhamma. It doesn't accept all three. It accepts a dhamma and fatha, never accepts a kasra. You cannot break it down in all three cases. It's never going to accept the kasra or tanween. I sent. طيب أين توقفنا? Where did we stop يا إخوان? Exercise number طيب sentence number 10. كنا في تمرين الخامس. We were on exercise number 5. صفحة 38. Page number 38. Exercise number 5. لعلنا ما كملناه. I don't think we finished it يا إخوان. فلعلنا توقفنا. Did we do all this? No, we didn't do all these يا إخوان. Perhaps we stop at sentence number 12. الزبد من حليب. We did that one. بقرة محمد. شوكة من خليفتي على المائدة. We did that one. 14. طيب. من يقرأها بصوت عال. Who can read it with a loud voice? 14. We did 14? So we'll just start with 14. Who can read with a loud voice? Sheikh Abdul Aziz, loud voice. مكة محل حسن. طيب من يترجمها? Who can translate? Mecca is a fine. You can say good, fine. You can say beautiful. All that's correct. Mecca to mahallun hasanun. Mecca is a fine place, beautiful place, nice place. طيب. Question number 1. السؤال الأول. إلى عشرة. أين المبتدئ? Where is the subject? Accent. مكة هنا المبتدئ. Mecca is the subject. سماء. أين الموصوف? Where is the موصوف? محل. ما شاء الله عبد المالك. Accent. أين الصفة زي حسن is the صفة مكة محل حسن السؤال الثاني question number 2 لماذا مكة هنا بدون تنوين why does Mecca not have a tanween she is called what I sent غير منصرف Mecca here is an example of a word that is غير منصرف she doesn't accept all three cases she doesn't accept كسرة doesn't accept tanween غير منصرف غير منصرف منصرف is the word that can be مرفوع or طيب it can still be مجرور it's the word that accepts a dhamma accepts a fatha accepts a kasra the غير منصرف does not accept the kasra nor does it accept a tanween is not fully declined if it can accept the dhamma fatha and kasra you can decline it fully it accepts all three cases غير منصرف doesn't you can't fully decline it تفضل يا زيد جميلا طيب احيانا علينا ان فقط نحفظ الكلمه sometimes you just got to memorize the word sometimes it's something that tells you that sometimes it's not so here you just got to memorize Mecca is like Aisha is like Usama is like those words that there's nothing special about the word. The shape is not giving you anything to tell you. It doesn't accept the tanween. Some shapes do. For example, this shape here. Mafa'ilu. Any word you see on this shape, mafa'ilu. Any word that looks just like this, mafa'ilu. The shape. Mafa'ilu. This is the shape that tells you is غير منصرف. Then there's another shape, mafa'ilu. So sometimes there's shapes that teach you that the word is غير منصرف. Any word that looks like this, mafa'ilu, is another shape. So sometimes shapes tell on itself. طيب. والله أعلم. And Allah knows best. خامسة عشر, 15, بصوت عال, with a loud voice. Who's turning to read? Abdullah, تفضل. أنت في بستان حسن جميل أنت في بستان حسن الجميل or جميل البستان حسن الجميل طيب this one is tricky يا إخوان pay attention here الجميل أنت في بستان حسن الجميل طيب أين حرف جار where is the preposition أحسنتي في is our حرف جار طيب ما معنى في what does في mean in upon inside of can also be about طيب من يترجمها who can translate عبد الوالي تفضل you are in handsome Hassan's garden طيب you can say that you whoever you are in whose garden Hassan's garden let's describe Hassan beautiful Hassan's garden fine Hassan's garden handsome all that's fine nice Hassan's garden طيب تفضل Mhm. Oh, you got that one. You got it. Look at something. You got to look deeply. Close. The tanween is part of it, but here, if it was the sifa, it would have came after. For example, unless you mean the sifa of bustan. If it was the sifa of bustan, then the tanween wouldn't be there. It will be a sifa. You'll have to agree. Or it will have alif or lam. For example, fi bustanin. Say if it said fi bustanin hasanin. Say if it said that, for example. Anta fi bustanin hasanin. Now hasan will be a sifa. You are in a fine or a beautiful garden. They look just alike. Tanween, tanween. But here, bustan has a kasrah, hasan has a tanween. So this is letting us know Hasan possesses something. So he owns or possesses the garden. Right? Now the tricky part here, what was our word, Ikhwan? Al-Jamili. Now this one, I wish the author waited. Because this one, we hope we don't throw nobody off. Jamil here can be a sifa of two things. Fi bustani hasanin al-jamili. But you have to look super close. It could be a sifa of Hasan, that's what it appears to be. But it can also be a sifa of bustan. The reason it throws you off is because of the fi. So I would have saved this sentence for later. At any rate, Jamil could be a sifa of bustan. Anta fi bustani al-jamili. So this could be a sifa of bustan. You are in the beautiful garden of Hasan. That could be there too. You are in Hasan's beautiful garden. Yeah. Apostrophe S. So this one was tricky. Jamil, because of the fi, is going to affect bustan. And then Hasan is mudaf ilay. So this is going to have a tanween. Now this Jamili, because of the fi, has to have a kasrah. Automatic. But it could go back to bustan, and it could go back to Hasan. So this one could have been one of two things. If you say you are in Hasan's beautiful garden, that's correct. If you said you are in the garden of handsome Hasan, that's correct too. So this one was kind of tricky. It's one of those examples that it could have been two things, one or two things. Right?
You said you could be handsome. The last one you mentioned.
You are in the garden of handsome Hasan, or beautiful Hasan, or fine Hasan. I don't know if you can say beautiful for a man, ya ikhwan, in English, Allah alam, if you can. You are in the garden of handsome Hasan, or fine Hasan.
But that's a sifa describing Hassan, but you got the tanween, you got the kasra.
Right?
It's supposed to match, right?
Yes. Now, Hasan is a name that will not take a tanween, alif wa lam. Remember, names are already ma'arifa. First lesson or so. Names are already proper nouns. Names are already definite. So some names have alif wa lam, some. But names, Muhammadun, doesn't need alif wa lam. It's already definite. Muhammadun is specific. So proper names are already ma'arifa. Every proper name is ma'arifa. So Hasan doesn't have to have an alif wa lam. He doesn't accept alif wa lam because it's a proper name. That's why this one is real tricky. Aliyun. Aliyun. The name is already ma'rifa. Every proper name is ma'rifa. So does it need to be made definite? It's already definite. Every proper name is a specific name. So this one is kind of tricky. So if you are in handsome Hasan's garden, or fine Hasan's garden, that's correct. If you made Jamil a sifa of bustan, that's also correct. No. Fadl. Ma'rifa. Would be like a pronoun. No, pronouns are also ma'rifa. For example, Baytun, a house. That's not definite. That's indefinite. A chair. Kursiyun. If I say al kursiyu, that was ma'rifah. Qalamun, a pen. Thawbun, a garment. You make it specific. Athawbu, the thawb. But proper names are automatically ma'rifah. If you say, Ya Ali, and it's Sheikh Abdul Ali, Sheikh Dawood, and Brother Ali. And I say, Ya Ali, I'm only talking to one of them. But if I say, Ya Rajulu, or Ya Rajulun, oh man, who am I talking about? Any one of them. Whoever turns around. You see the brothers walking past, Ya Akhi, oh my brother. Whoever turns around, oh, Samad, Shukran, Ya Akhi. Listen, did I mean him? No. Whoever turns, whoever gives me a moment. Right? So one is Marifa, one is Nakira. That's a good question. طيب السادس عشر 16 loud voice المائدة. Something about the Ma'idah. المائدة. Good. المائدة في بيتي. Good. في بيت محمد. بيت بيت لي محمد. صح. بيت لي. طيب, this one is not as difficult. والله أعلم. المائدة. Where is it? في بيت لي محمد. Oh, who could translate this one, ya ikhwan? Let's see who's the ones who did their homework. Who made some maraja'a this week? Sheikh Abdul Aziz. The table spread is in Muhammad's house. The meaning is there. That's there. You talk to an Arab, he understands what you're saying. But it's something small missing. Hey, the house of. Cool, similar to what Sheikh Abdul Aziz said. Hey, what about the li? Hey. So it's possession without the structure of possession. You remember the structure, ikhwan? The mudaf ilayh structure. We learned the structure last week called al. Who knows? Say it again. What's the structure called we learned? Al-idafa. Accent. So the idafa. Not every example of possession has to be in the idafa structure. No. But the idafa is a certain structure only. You can say it different ways, like here. You can say almost the same exact thing. But the point is the structure. So if you say, مثلا, Baytu Muhammadin. طيب. We're almost saying the same thing. Man yutarjim, who could translate? Muhammad's house or house of Muhammad. What's the point here? What's the shahid? What did we do differently? What did we use? Tanween, the mudaf ilayh structure, the idafa structure. So here you're almost saying the same thing. It is showing possession, it is, but without being in the possession structure. Right? A non-Muslim comes and prays. It's allowed. A non-Muslim comes in and prays. Right? Maybe he doesn't pray in a row with the Muslims. Maybe he prays in the back. He still prays. Right? Just because he did the prayer doesn't mean he's in the structure of how the Muslims pray. He did the action. You could do the same thing. Li Muhammadin, belonging to Muhammad. So it shows possession. Yes. Without being in the structure of the possession. So you can say things multiple ways. But here is an example of how to say something similar to the mudaf ilayh structure without using the mudaf Mudaf ilayh. Not every action of kufr makes you a disbeliever. What's an action of kufr? There are many. Huh? To deny that Allah Ta'ala is the creator. Is every person that says that a disbeliever? The answer is no. How can a Muslim say Allah is not the creator and he still be a Muslim? Who can give an example? Huh? Munafiq. Give me an example of when someone can say Allah is not the creator, when a'udhu billah, and that person is still a Muslim. Hey, suppose their mind is not there. He's Muslim, but he gets tested with something else. So dhahaba aqlu. So his mind is not there. The person is so angry. This is why when you get to that rage, it doesn't count. You divorce your wife, that's it. I can't do it. But his mind, his heart is not there. He has no intention. He's like a crazy man. What does that mean? Why he said it, Allah is not my Lord. He doesn't mean that. He's not intending that. So it doesn't affect him. The angels don't write that down. What's another example? There are many. If a child says it, that's not at the age of puberty. The angels don't write for the child yet. So you can't say, oh, you just disbelieve. He's 8. Not like that, yeah. What else? Hey, that'll be similar to the first. He drinks, she drinks, may Allah forbid. Now, dhahaba aqlu. His mind is not there because of the alcohol. So he says a statement of kufr. The angels don't write that. Why? There's no niyyah there. There's no intention there. The Messenger of Allah says in a hadith narrated by Umar, collected by Bukhari Muslim, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِنِيَّاتٍ. Our actions are based upon intentions. So if you do something you don't intend to do in Ramadan, we working out, Samad is working out with us, we playing ball, lifting weights in Ramadan. It's not recommended to work out in Ramadan. Even if you have discipline, it's still not recommended. It's allowed. طيب. Samad, he gets tired, gets off the treadmill, runs over, says Bismillah, takes a sip. We're fasting. But he forgot. He's not held for that. He didn't break his fast. The brother says, hey, fear Allah. What'd I do? You just drank. Oh, I forgot. If he truly forgot, did he break his fast? No. Does he have to make it up? No. Does he continue his fast? Yes. Now he's drinking a bottle, got the Gatorade, but hey, you're fasting. Yeah, I know. Let me get this last little bit. Not like that, yeah. The sister's cooking in Ramadan. Oh, this happens a lot. تطبخ طعاما. She's making food. ثم تذوق شيئا ما. Then she tastes it. لا تبلغه. She doesn't swallow. لا تبلعه. She doesn't swallow it. تذوقه. She just tastes it. Did she break her fast? Answers no. She swallows it now. On purpose, she broke her fast. And she has to repent to Allah, and she has to fast the rest of that day and make it up. But one little, may Allah help us. But she tastes it, spits it out. Did she break her fast? No. Many of the companions of the Messenger ﷺ used to taste their food while they were fasting. Some scholars say it's not recommended to do that if you don't have that discernment. You don't have that strength. Some of us, we smell the pizza. Mashallah, it's only one day, akhi. We're going to break our fast. Mashallah, may Allah help us. If you don't have that strength, you shouldn't do something that's allowed to do because it's a possibility. It could lead you to breaking your fast. So you work out, unless you naturally work out, it's still recommended not to do it until you break your fast out of fear that maybe you'll forget, or it may allow you to break your fast. Why are you preparing it? In general. It's not a condition. You have to be the cook. Your wife is cooking. You know you can't cook. You come in, oh, mashallah, that's the basmati. Alhamdulillah. That's from the masjid. Let me get a little taste. As long as he only tastes it, your taste buds are on your tongue. Your throat is somewhere else. You can taste, but you can't swallow. Once you swallow, you broke your fast. If you did it on purpose. What do you mean your niyya is not there?
Your intention, your true intention. That's what I was told.
طيب لا بأس. May Allah pardon that brother or sister who said that and teach us all. At any rate, if you intend to only taste the food, what did you violate? Hmm. If you swallow it, that's different. It's not a condition that just be. Mm. So if you put something in your mouth, you have to swallow it. If you swallow it, you broke your fast. Like brushing your teeth. Islam doesn't say it's haram to brush your teeth. As long as you know how to brush your teeth. Not swallowing it, no. If you can brush your teeth and rinse your mouth completely and don't swallow it, Islam doesn't say that's haram. Islam says that's halal. Now, if you taste something and swallow the remains of the food, that's different. But Islam says as long as you're only tasting it and it doesn't go behind your throat, you didn't violate anything. Father. Alhamdulillah. It's not recommended to do any activity that can lead you to breaking your fast. Even if, say you're used to it, mashallah, you work out for years and years and years, still the action is the same. You're just used to it, for example. But the ruling wouldn't change. It's not hated, it's allowed. Many of the ulama would say, even if you're used to it, you can still go work out. I've been doing this for years and years and years. It doesn't affect me. Tell you, it's still better that you wait till you break your fast. Out of fear that you may do something and get so fatigued and so tired that you could break your fast. No, that you're forced. Or it just leads you to it. Another point. What about if the brother's fasting? He doesn't break his fast, but he intends to break his fast. It's broken. If you really understand this hadith, ya ikhwan, إنما الأعمال بالنيات, all actions are based upon intentions. Imam al-Shafi'i says, هذا الحديث تحت 70 بابا في الفقه. This one hadith is under 70 chapters of fiqh. One hadith. All actions are based upon intentions. The man is fasted, but in his heart, he's intending to break his fast. He's no longer fasting. All actions are based upon intentions. Right? The man he believes in Allah, but in his heart, he intends to disbelieve in Allah. He's no longer Muslim. How do we contradict? But as long as your intention is there. When you're intending to drink, to taste, that's not intending to break your fast. If you intend to break your fast, you broke your fast. If you ate, drunk, or didn't eat, doesn't matter. Your intention is in your heart. Just because you're tasting, if you're intending to break your fast, you broke your fast. Not with the action, with the what? Intention. It's up to the intention, ya ikhwan. We'll talk later, inshallah. But we'll explain later, Yusuf, no problem. So here, same meaning, but one is the idafa structure, one is not. Baytun li Muhammad, a house belonging to Muhammad. It's almost the same meaning as Baytun Muhammad, Muhammad's house. But one is the structure. This structure is called the mudaf, mudaf ilayh. Here, there's no mudaf, there's no mudaf ilayh. Right? And this could give another meaning to the Arab. If you say al-ma'idatu fi baytin li Muhammadin, an Arab could understand Muhammad yamliku baytan akthara min hadha al-bayt. An Arab could understand Muhammad has more than one house. Just by saying the table spread is in a house belonging to Muhammad. Just because you said it like that, not that he has to have more than one, but it implies that he has 2 houses, 3 houses. Right? The man has multiple wives. He says, this is a wife of mine. even English. That sounds like, oh, mashallah, ya akhi, alhamdulillah. Might give him a little chest bump. Nowadays, I don't know where we get that from, ya ikhwan. The more wives you have, the more of a man you are. I don't know where we get that, ya ikhwan. Like, may Allah help us. But that can imply that. Nowadays, especially if you're in our city, if my car is faster than your car, I'm better than you, or I don't know where we get that. I have a sports car, you have a truck. May Allah help us. طيب. Whose turn? Number 17. Loud voice. الخبز. Good. على الصحن. Good. لا بس try it again. الخبز على الصحن. Good. الجديد. Good. هو مع زبدتي. Good. Translate. ترجم. الخبز على صحن الجديد هو مع زبدتي. The butter. What about the butter? الخبز, not the butter. Try it again. The bread. Where is the bread? على الصحن. صحن. الجديد. Good. On the new plate. It's مع زبدتي. It is with the butter. The bread على الصحن الجديد is on the new plate. هو, the bread, it is, the huwa goes back to the bread. هو, what about it? مع زبدتي, it is with the butter.
When you pronounce it ma'a, doesn't it bypass the alif and lam to the zal?
Why?
Because I guess it's a moonlight. It's a moonlight.
Close. The opposite.
Sun letter.
Good.
So it bypassed that drop. The alif and lam dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even pronounce it.
I didn't. I paused.
Oh, so you changed it.
Mm-hmm. Remember, ya ikhwan, some things in rules, not rules are made to be broken, not like that, but in rules, there's some things that you can't break ever. And there's some things that are allowed. Here, if you pause here, if you say ma'a, pause, now you pronounce alif lam. Why? Who remembers? Elijah? Oh. Why do you skip this hamza? What's that hamza called? Wasl. What's the principle? When do you skip the wasl? You never see it. When do you skip it? Oh. Our sisters, help us out. When do you skip the wasl? Oh, come on, ya ikhwan. Huh? Where's it? When do you skip the hamza to the wasl? Hey, when it's connected. طيب. So what about if it's in the beginning? It's pronounced. طيب. So if you say, for example, Allahu. Where's the hamza? It's in the beginning. You can't see it. What's his name that you can't see? The hamza that you never see? Al-wasl. There are two hamza. One is accent. It's never written. And it's only heard. It's never written. Finish the benefit. طيب. There are two Hamza, ya ikhwan. One is always seen, one you never see. Hey, one is always seen, one you never see. The one that you see, his name is Al-Qati'. Al-Qati'. طيب. The one, there's a Hamza here. There's a Hamza. You just can't see it. There are jinn here. There are malaika here. We just can't see them. They're here. طيب. Our religion teaches us they're here. طيب. This Hamza is there. We just can't see it. The Hamza that you can't see, لا تكتب. It's never written. Never. And no example. ولا تسمع. And it's never heard. إلا في البداية. Unless you start the sentence with it. So now, let's start the sentence and say, Allahu Akbar. We started it. Allahu Akbar. طيب. What did we pronounce here? The Hamza, the Alif. Allah, Allah. Why are we saying Allah? It's in the beginning. So this Hamza is there. You just can't see it. لا تكتب أبدا. It's never written. It's only heard. لا تسمع. It's never heard. إلا في البداية. Except in the beginning. طيب, let's change it now. Now let's make it not the beginning. Let's say wa. طيب. Now the waw is the first letter. So we're going to recite like this Hamza is not there. Like this sukoon, not a sukoon. You don't say what, not a sukoon. You just skip over it. Go right to the shadda. Why did we skip this Hamza? It's a wasl. The wasl, ya ikhwan, if you memorize the principles, sometimes it's easier. Even if you don't know the meaning of it, memorize the points. There are two Hamzas. The one that you can't see is never going to be written. Never. It's never going to be heard. Ever. Unless it's in the beginning. That's it. 3 points. The one that you can't see is never heard. It's never written. It's never heard unless it's in the beginning. So now we got Wallahu Akbar. You don't say Wa Allahu, but you can. That's what I did here. If you pause, say you take a breath. Right? Say you recite the wow, take a breath. Now the Hamza is what? Abdullah? It's in the beginning now. So if you keep on going, you skip it. Wallahu Akbar. And Allah is the greatest. Take a breath after the wow. Wa Allah. Now you pronounce it. The qati' is the opposite. The qati' is always written, always heard. They're opposites. So here, if you do the same, ma'a, take a breath. Now, zubda is the beginning. Ma'a az, like that. Wallahu a'lam. طيب. Let's get some benefit, inshallah, ya ikhwan. A sentence. Allah, that's another principle in Aqidah. Allah is always definite. If you skip it, if you don't pronounce, if you take a breath, and then if there's a sun letter there, you're going to skip the alif and lam and go right to the sun letter. Same rules apply. Right? Allah is always masculine and is always ma'rifah. You never say Allahan, Allahun, Allahin. هذا لا يوجد في لغة العرب. That doesn't exist in the Arabic language. طيب. We had a benefit we wanted to share. طيب. The word ma'a. Write this benefit down, ya ikhwan. تفضل. Ilahin. طيب. The word ilah, yeah, you can say that, but not Allah. The word ilah can be nakira and can be ma'rifah. The Sheikh Dawood is asking about the word ilahin. Ilah is really ilahun by itself. Ilahun. This word is nakira. It can also be ma'rifah. Add an alif wa lam to it. You can say al-ilahu. Al-ilahu. A God, the God. So the word ilah can be nakira, it can be ma'rifah. You can say ilahun, ilahan, ilahin. It's munsarif. Allah can never be nakira. Right? That's the principle. Right. Our next word we're going to learn is ma'a. Ma'a. Ma'a has many meanings. Ma'a, to have, with, to have. It looks like a harf jar. It's similar to harf jar. It's called dharf. It can be ظرف مكان, and it can هو معنى ظرف مكان, a preposition of place. Now, preposition of place. To have, with. طيب. So the last part of the class, we're going to skip a couple months. We're going to graduate a little bit with one word, inshallah. We're going to skip. طيب. I want you to write down. I can make it easy, ikhwan. Let's write down the word ma'a, with. We're going to write down the pronoun huwa, hiya, huma, hum, hunna. So we do the third party or third person first. Huwa, hiya, huma, huma. It's really two huma, but we just wrote one. One is masculine, one is feminine. Huwa, he, or it. Hiya, she, or it. Huma, those two men. Those two men. Or those two things. Hum, those three or more men. Hum. Huh? Hum, those three or more men. Hunna, those three or more women. So we're just doing the third person first. Let's get this down first, and then we'll do second person, first person. Huwa, he or it. Hiya, she or it. Just like huwa, but feminine. Huma, those two men, or those two masculine things. Hum, hunna, huma, hum, hum. Huwa, hiya, huma, hum, hunna. So we have 5. We mentioned some of these already, ikhwan, a couple chapters ago. And the pronouns. So now, all of these with the word ma'a. Ma'a means with or to have. When you put it with the pronoun, it changes slightly. So I want to say he, hunna, the last one. Whom, those 3 men. Whom. Y'all talking about my meme, yeah? Come on. Whom. So we have huwa, hiya, huma, hum, hunna. Ma'a means with or to have. So for homework, we do the exercise first, and I want you to practice all week. So now we're going to pit ma'a with each one of the pronouns. It changes now. So now I want to say he has. So ma'a with huwa yusawi becomes ma'ahu. So the waw drops off. Becomes ma'ahu. He has. Whatever he has. Ma'ahu kitab. He has a book. Ma'ahu iPad. He has an iPad. So ma'a, we're going to add huwa. Yusawi becomes ma'ahu. He has. The easy part, well, we'll save that benefit. طيب. Here. So we have ma'a with here. Yusawi, do the same thing. The waw dropped off, the ya drops off. Becomes ma'aha. She has. So huwa and ma'a becomes ma'ahu. He has. Hiya and ma'a, or ma'a and hiya becomes ma'aha. So the ya dropped off. And you add alif. Only for the feminine. Man la yafham, who doesn't understand so far? So we just add in the pronoun with ma'a, and it changes slightly. Well, only the first two change. Pay attention here. Only the first two change. The remaining stay the same. Now we have huma. Huma is tricky because you never hear it. You never really hear it when you're talking about two people only. Not you're talking to them, no. You're talking about them. Third person. After Maghrib, I gave the Imam salams and Abdul Aziz, the other Abdul Aziz. Third person, two people. This is huma, those two. I saw Muhammad and Ali. I saw both of them, for example. So now it's masculine. Two people only, third person. Huma, those two, not you two, those two. So we have ma'a wa huma. Yusawi becomes ma'ahuma. They stay the same. With those two. Or those two have. So these, they just come together. The first two, the waw dropped off, the ya dropped off. You don't say ma'ahuwa. The Arab would say ma'ahu. You don't say ma'ahiya. The Arab would say ma'aha. You don't say ma'ahuma. No, you do say ma'ahuma. They join together as if it's one word now. So they're kind of different. The first two changes. The remaining stay the same. We're almost done. Hum. Now three people. Ma'a wa hum. Those three or more men. A woman could be there with them. That's fine. 3 men and 1 woman. It still be hum. Those 3 or more. It could be 8 of them. It could be 20 of them. It still be hum. Has to be at least 3. أقل عدد ثلاثة. The least or lowest number is 3. معهم يساوي becomes معهم. معهم. So the first two is all you really have to memorize. The waw drops off from huwa, ma'ahu. The ya drops off from hiya, add an alif, ma'aha. The remaining ones stay the same. Two feminine. Say it again. No, so far we did one feminine. Here, it is one for the feminine, if you mean huma. It is one for the feminine. It stays exactly the same. There's a pronoun for those two men, huma. The same exact pronoun comes again for two women. Huma, what two people? Those two people from the men. Huma, what two people? Those two people from the women. Same word. Yep. Same pronoun. Is dual for the men. Same word comes again. Dual for the women. How do you tell the difference? Who knows? Huh? So all of you have this, Ikhwan? I'll give you an example. I don't have a lot of space. You all have this? Right. Take the first part away. You got at least the first two, right? This word huma, those two men. It comes again, huma, the same word. Those two women. Like zoj and zoja. Like arus and arusa. Like arus and arus. Like zoj and zoj. You guys with me? The word zoj, the same exact word, has a different meaning. Like arus and arus. Don't change the meaning. Don't change the spelling. Let's write it the same way. Zoj, zojun. Let's write it the exact same way. A whole different word though. Let's spell it the exact same way. Zojun, zojun. Zojun can be a husband, and this zoj can be a wife. How do you know the difference? The context. Right? The same word can have multiple meanings in Islam. Zoj can be a man, a husband. Zoj can be a wife. So the wife can say, hey, Zoji. The man says, hey. The man can say, hey, Zoji. The wife can say, hey. Now, Zoja is specific, only a wife. But the masculine one can be masculine by itself, and it can also be feminine without making any change. And then you can add a ta marbuta to it and make it feminine by shape also. Likewise, we learned this one before, ya ikhwan. Arus. That's one of our vocabulary words. Hey, arus can be a bride. Arus. Let's spell it the exact same way again. Arus. We didn't do nothing different. Arus. Arus can be a bride, and arus can be a groom. Same word. How do you know the difference? Context. Our sisters confused about Zoj and Zoja. Remember, ya ikhwan, Arabic is different, and it's more vast. It's more beautiful also, but it's more, it gets your brain going. And I challenge you to speak more Arabic and watch how tired you become mentally. The more you think, okay, yeah, and the more you try to speak Arabic, the more your brain is going to be fatigued. The word Zoj can be a husband, can be a wife. It can be both. Then you also have Zoja. Now this one is specific, only can be one. Just remember, a word can have multiple meanings. Write that as a principle. A word can have multiple meanings. We learn aynun. We learn 5 different words, 4 different words for aynun. 1 word. Zoj, 2 meanings. Like salam, husband, wife. Zoja, 1 meaning. This can never be husband. Zoj can be wife and husband. Zoja, only wife. Right? One easy way to memorize is that words can have multiple meanings. The word masjid, it can be specific, it can be general. How can it be specific? Give me an example. You're only talking about the mosque. Al-masjidu. The word masjid can also mean a musalla. Anywhere you pray at, you can call it a masjid, meaning musalla. Right? We go to the park, and it's time to pray. Abdullah says, hey, where's the masjid? Meaning musalla. Where are we going to pray at? You go to someone's house as a visitor. You shouldn't just stand up to pray 2 rak'ah. Nah, that's bad manners. You shouldn't stand in a way where you can see their little kids. No. If they have a place and you can see right through their house, you should turn yourself, for example, not to put yourself in a position to see right through their house. No, that's bad manners to do that. You shouldn't sit down before they ask you or allow you to sit. That's bad manners. Sheikh Abdul Aziz. At any rate, you go to someone's house and you say, Usalli salatan, do you allow me to pray in your house? You just can't jump up and pray. That's bad manners. For example, you say, would you allow me to pray? He may say, no, I don't allow nobody to pray at my house but me. Maybe. He might be from our people. We have some extremism a lot of time, and we don't even realize it yet. Man, I hope us all. The man says, no. You go visit someone's house and his wife is there. You're not getting in? Especially if he's one of our brothers. You knock on someone's door. He might get it. Who told you where I live at? Yeah, I heard you were sick. Oh, no. I forget that. How did you know I live here? Yeah, you're my Muslim brother. Yeah, don't bring Islam into it now. That's us. No, y'all, these are not jokes here, Juan. That's us. That's our reality. You're giving a brother a ride home from the masjid. You need a ride out? Yeah, I got you, yeah. He's going to get 4 blocks from his house. You can pull a red light. No, I'm going to take you to your house. No. I don't know you like that, And you pull a red light. You knock on somebody's door without being invited. It's not a condition. You have to be invited, Ikhwan. That's not a condition. We made that up. Who invited you? Nobody, Akhi. I heard you were sick. Yeah, who told you where I live? Call somebody by his government name. His name is Bruce. We know him as Ali. Brother Bruce. Oh, yeah. Your mother gave you that name. Yeah. I don't want nobody to know that. It's not. Man, I hope it's all, yeah. The sisters are the same way. The homework, yeah, Quran, is that chart. I want you to write it 10 times. The chart we did. I want you to practice with it. With ma'a. We didn't get to hunna yet. Hunna stays the same. Ma'a hunna. Right? So we're going to practice with that chart. I want you to write the chart 10 times. So that's 1. Huwa ma'ahu. Hiya ma'aha. Huma ma'ahuma. To the end. That's 1. And write it again. Huwa ma'ahu. Hiya ma'aha. Huma ma'ahuma. Hum ma'ahum. Hunna ma'ahunna. That's 2. Another benefit, while you're writing your vocabulary or your homework, say it. It's going to help your speech. Don't just write. You're writing, say it. Huwa. While you're writing it, say it. Write it, say it. Write it, say it. It's going to help you tremendously. As far as ma'a, Ma'a doesn't come for maybe 6 chapters down the road. I can tell you after, inshallah. I can't recall this moment. I can tell you after. The last two of hunna. Ma'ahuma, with those two. Or those two have. Ma'ahum, with them. Or they have. Last one we did. Ma'a, with hunna. 3 or more women. Becomes ma'ahunna. This one stays the same. Ma'ahunna. Those 3 or more women have. Say they have a question. 3 sisters have a question. You say ma'ahunna su'al. Those 3 women have a question. Like that. So we'll stop there, ya ikhwan. فَنَسَبْتُ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ وَأَنْ أَخْطَأْتُ مِنْ نَفْسِي. Anything we said that's correct is from Allah. Anything we said is incorrect is from ourselves. And may Allah bless you all. Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. We had a class on Sunday. Yeah, the brother didn't come. We couldn't, yeah, we have to learn how to, Samad has to teach us in jihad.